So I'm a little confused. What are they gonna do with Denki and Iwabe now that they're not dead by the end of the episode? Because like I originally thought they were just gonna get held back, but then the fire started. And I'm just like, no, they're gonna both die in there, right? But they didn't. For a second, I thought Chocho got her hands on one of those Jalokia burgers. Like she ate that shit and just started diarrheaing everywhere, all over the place, and possibly went inside of that building and maybe started spitting hot fire in the same way that everybody started spitting hot fire because they just couldn't take that habanero heat. Alright, I know that was mega corny, but if those two aren't in the movie, then what exactly happens to them? Unless they just explain us through the anime just being a completely different form of the Boruto series and they have no relation whatsoever. Or at the very least, if they do have some kind of relationship, it's going to be hella contradictory. I don't know, it's a little hard to act as if two characters just don't exist, right? Like, whose father built this entire Hidden Leaf Village, this modern Hidden Leaf Village, and, I mean, the entire community was making theories about Iwabe being Kawaki, so I'm guessing that never existed if those two characters just don't exist in the movie or in the manga. That being said, putting the fallacies aside, I'm happy with what happened in this week's episode. I'm happy those two graduated. I'm happy those two worked together and helped each other. I'm happy those two jumped into that building that was on fire, saving those little girls. Granted, I feel as if Iwabe figuring out a system of sprinklers was some bull, because this is Iwabe we're talking about. I mean, he failed the academy twice, right? He got held back twice because he was just too stupid to pass any written exam. What did it take for him to absorb all that information? Basically taking a big giant piss on gravity, and I'm happy that happened, right? But for him to basically, like, figure out the sprinkling system, I'm sorry, he should have dropped dead. Like, I didn't want to say it. I just didn't. But, like, Iwabe, really, realistically speaking, he should have just, like, suffocated to death in the building, and that would have been the perfect way to get rid of those two characters. But no, they're here, and what do we really do with them? Because they're not in the movie, they're not in the manga. Like, y'all could have just made this really emotional, oh, these little poor girls in the building, the sprinkling system, it doesn't work. And Iwabe suffocates, he cannot breathe no more, and he dies in the fire. Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's tragic, but that's what makes a story impactful. That's what makes us really love the series when characters die, right? And don't get me wrong, I do feel as if Denki dying in that spandex suit, basically like trying to walk up that building and like dying from, like falling off that building, like I do feel that's too much, right? Like that's just too much comedy. Like I would probably laugh and I'm supposed to cry because Denki is also a character I love and I care about. So to see him in that situation, I would feel like, yo, they can't do that in that way, because if he dies in that green spandex shit in those green tights, it's like now Rock Lee and Metal Lee have a body count now, and we're not about to give those two body counts, right? We're just not. Because let me just put this into perspective. When the entire class left, Denki was doing overtime training, right? And Metal Lee was just doing his own thing. He was acting as if he was really there training with Denki, but he was like 10, 20 feet above him. Like, how are you going to train somebody and help them out? He was wearing his original clothes. So if he would have died, right, it would have been tragic, true. I would have felt bad, but I wouldn't have thought it was really funny, right? Whereas if he dies in the shit that, Rock Lee is providing him, the shit that Metal Lee's wearing, they're trying to hype that up as if, yo, it's gonna make you a better shinobi, it's gonna make you a better ninja. Now, a lot of people didn't notice the character development Iwabe got in this week's episode, and it's really cool because this had the potential to go downhill, right? The second that building got set on fire, they could have easily shifted these characters away because they missed the exam, they saved everybody in the building, but that's it. They didn't make it. Try again next year, bro. And within a year's time span, guys, we could have like 50 or 60 episodes and we could just completely forget about these two. Instead, we find out why Iwabe was a bully, why he was there picking on everybody, and that's not because he just felt superior to everybody. In a way, he does have somewhat of an ego, but I don't think he has that inflated of an ego to the point to where he would just bully everybody else. I think he was just putting on this hard appearance because he was so scared to connect to everybody, because at the end of the day, all of his friends basically graduated while he was there time and time again taking the same material over and over again. And here's the thing, guys, I think at some point he just, stopped connecting to the classmates. He just stopped giving a crap, like why connect to all of these kids when they're probably going to graduate and I'm going to be here alone? Why make connections when these connections are going to be cut short? And I feel like that was very needed, because to this day, even though Iwabe made that little change, he still came off like an ass to me. After this week's episode, I don't look at him the same way anymore. Like, I actually see his soft side. As for Denki, we didn't get no character development for him. He did not, come out as gay. He didn't, start putting random, sprinkler attachment parts up his butt. Like, that's not what happened, right? But at the very end of the day, you could say he made a new friend. He made a friend that he could count on in the future. He made a friend that's stronger than Boruto at this point in time, and I'm not gonna lie, that's something that could come with its own perks. You know, Boruto switches up on Denki. He basically calls him a nerd. Next thing you know, Iwabe is pulling out Earth-style big brown cock on Naruto. He literally gets fucked. No homo. I mean, I can't really no homo that was really gay, but like, you know, I don't mean it that way, right? I'm just saying that Iwabe will stand up for Denki during rough times. If he's ever getting bullied again, well, Iwabe won't be the one to do it. If anything, it was Denki Kaminarimon who low-key bullied Iwabe in the episode, because at the beginning, when he basically fell off the wall, you had the entire class there, and Denki was just like, you know, why does this wall climbing have to be on the exam? I can't fail like Iwabe! And then, you know, it shifted to Iwabe, and Iwabe's like, what's going on, right? So, at the end of the day, like, he was kind of the outlier in this episode, and Denki kind of contributed to that, because he's already sort of an outcast. Denki's just putting it out there that Iwabe is, like, casted in stone as the dude that basically failed. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys, I really didn't get the emotional attachment to Iwabe's words when Iwabe basically told Denki, like, I can't let you fail, I can't let you not be with your friends. I'm just like, you know, because, I don't know, like, I love Iwabe, I'm glad they developed his character, he has a soft side, but it's a little bit too early for those, like, emotional sayings from him. Like, you not Jiraiya yet. You got a lot of episodes and a lot of hours to put in before you can start saying stuff like that. And was I the only one who got part 1 Gaara vibes when Iwabe was standing upside down and Denki flipped that book so that he could concentrate? I don't know. I know Gaara wasn't an academic genius, even though he was very smart. However, I really would love to see an Iwabe right now versus a Gaara in part 1 and see how they match up, because Gaara was renowned as a ruthless killer who could even scare Jonin, right? Whereas Iwabe, he's got some skills as well. Is it on that level? Probably